What's up you guys, it's your girl Loverly and I am back with another video. You see the thumbnail and the title. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make another balloon garland. But for today's balloon garland I'm going to be using balloon garland kits that I received from Temu. You guys know that I don't really make garlands with kits, so this should be interesting and I'm super excited to see how the quality is because I've never really used balloons from Temu before, so I'm excited to see the quality of these balloons. I'm definitely going to be showing you guys everything that I received from Temu, but I'm also going to be using some of the items in today's video. For today's garland I'm going to be using one color. I've never really done a garland using one color, so I'm super excited about that. That is why I chose this specific kit, because it only came with one color and I want to see how it turned out. I don't know if I can consider today's balloon garland a basic balloon garland, but beginners can definitely learn from this video, so I'm excited about that. If you guys would like to see the full tutorial, make sure that you sit back, relax and enjoy today's video. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, and I also want to get your feedback, so let me know in the comment section how you feel about today's video. Did you learn anything? Did you like how it turned out? Let me know how you feel about the way these balloons look from Temu, and I also want you to let me know how you feel about the one color balloon garland. I see them all the time and I've never really gotten the opportunity to do it, so I'm excited to do it. Before we get started, I would like to give a big shout out for the sponsor for today's video. Shout out to Temu for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I will be using this balloon garland kit that I found on Temu to create a balloon garland backdrop. If you guys aren't familiar with Temu, they're a marketplace where you can find items that we use on a daily basis, like kitchen essentials, home decor, health and beauty products, balloon supplies, event decor items, clothing for men and women, and if you are into organization like myself, they have plenty of options for you. All of the items you see on screen are from Temu, and everything I chose arrived in perfect shape. As you can see, Temu is able to offer some of the best products for a reasonable price you can't find elsewhere. To shop some of these items, you can download the Temu app on your Android or iOS device. And you guys, if you download the app today and use my coupon code that's displayed on the screen, I hope you guys can see it, you will receive $100 in coupons to use on the app. Temu offers free shipping and free returns for up to 90 days. They also offer buy now and pay later options like Klarna and AfterPay for your convenience. Go ahead and check out Temu and let me know how your experience went. Thank you again Temu for sponsoring today's video, but without further ado you guys, let's just jump into today's tutorial. Alright you guys, so I have this mattress bag that I also got from Temu because it was super cheap and it's huge. The size that I saw online, I was like, no way, that's how much this costs. And the mattress bag is for transporting balloons, so if you do this as a business and you usually purchase mattress bags or balloon bags to transport your balloons for your installs, then we're going to see if purchasing your mattress bags from Temu makes more sense. Okay, let's see, because mattress bags are not cheap. I usually like the mattress bags that are not this thick because they are easier to tie the ends when we stuff them with balloons. So it is pretty huge. I don't know y'all, I think we found a way. I think we found a way to purchase mattress bags for cheap. The price for this specific mattress bag will be on the screen, so let me know in the comment section if you think that's a good price for a mattress bag this size. And just imagine the amount of balloons we could stuff in this bag. Like, just imagine. I feel like we can stuff like 2 full garlands in here, plus some clusters. I don't know y'all. Let me know in the comment section if you think that's a good price. Okay guys, so it's time to get into today's tutorial. So as I said, I have these balloon kits. I got 2 of them, and based off the pictures, it has multiple sizes. It has 12-inch, 10-inch, 5-inch, and 18 inches. There's 100 balloons in each kit. I got 2 because you know that when you purchase balloon kits online, they don't usually, the picture that's on the product and the picture that's online don't usually match up to what's inside of the bag. So I got 2 just in case I need more 5 inches or whatever. It also tells you the amount of balloons that come in the pack for each size. So we're just going to go with the flow. I'm going to start with 1 kit first, and if it's not enough, then I just take it from the other kit. And I'm going to be using 260s to create the garland today. I know that the last time I created a garland using 260s, you guys really enjoyed it. So I've decided to use these 260s that I received from Temu. The quality, it feels way better than the last 260s that I received from Temu. So I'm excited to see if the quality is like really better. So I'm going to be using 260s to create the garland for today. I also have these clear hooks from Temu as well, but not from this order. I've had these hooks, and I also have a bag of the hooks. So I'm going to be using it to attach the garland to this backdrop that I have right here. It's just a plain white backdrop that I added an old baby sign to because it was the closest sign. So I just took it out and added it to the backdrop so the backdrop wouldn't be so plain. And there's also a lot of paint chips on the backdrop, so I wanted to like cover it up a little bit so the old baby sign will work for today. So let me go ahead and get my balloon inflators and then come back and show you guys how I inflate my balloons to create my balloon garland. Alright guys, so I have both my balloon inflators here. I have the Legenda for my 5 inches, so I'm going to be using that later on. And I also have my medium pump that I'm going to be using to inflate my 12 inches, 10 inches, and also the 18 inches. So those are the 2 balloon pumps I'm going to be using today. So it does tell us on the bag the amount of balloons that's in there for each size. So for the 12 inch, there's 30 pieces. For the 10 inch, there's 30 pieces. 5 inch, there's 35 pieces. And for the 18 inches, there's 5 pieces of those. So I don't know, for the size of this backdrop, it's pretty small, so I do think that it's enough balloons in 1 kit, but just in case some of the balloons pop or something, I do have the other kit as backup. And I'm only going to be using this kit that I got from Temu. I'm not going to be using any extra colors or any extra balloons from my own. So I just took out all of the balloons out of the package. So I'm going to show you guys how I inflate to create the clusters for my balloon garland. So I'm using a medium machine to inflate my 12 inches. And I'm going to inflate 2 balloons at the same time. Alright you guys, so I have the 12 inches inflated. They're a little see-through. They're orange. I hope the color shows, you know, accurately on camera, but they're a little see-through. It doesn't really say what brand comes in a kit, but kits don't usually let us know the brand balloon that comes in the kit. But this is how it looks so far. So I don't want my balloons to be the same exact size for my garland because I am creating an organic balloon garland. So I just remove some air while pressing down just to make sure that my balloon have a more round shape. I'll demonstrate when I inflate the other 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and tie it. So this is how all of my pairs will look. One size will be smaller than the other. So this is how the balloons look when I first inflate them. You see that they have a cone shape and we don't want that. So I'm going to be releasing some air from both balloons while pressing down just to give the balloon a round shape because we don't like this cone shape that's going on right now. Just press down while releasing a little air. And now our balloons have a round shape. So I'm going to go ahead and tie those 2 together. And since I want to make this tutorial a little bit beginner friendly, I'm going to be creating clusters of 4 instead of my usual clusters of 6 and 8. So I'm going to take these 2 pairs of balloons and wrap them together. I'm going to wrap them around 3 to 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have a cluster of 4 balloons, and as you can see, the balloons are not the same size. We have like 2 larger size and then we have 2 smaller ones. So that is what I'm going to be doing for all of the clusters moving forward, using the 12 inches, and then I'm going to move on to the other sizes like the 18-inch balloons and the 10-inch balloons. Alright you guys, so I have a pair right here with my 12-inch balloons, and the kit did come with some 18-inch balloons. So I'm going to show you guys how you can add larger sizes throughout your garland and not wait until the very end. So I'm going to take a 12-inch balloon and an 18-inch balloon. I'm going to make the 18-inch balloon a little rounder. And I have a pair right here. So I'm just going to wrap it around with my 12-inch pair. And now I have a cluster of 4, but with just a larger balloon. So that is another way you can add your larger sizes without waiting until the very end. Guys, I want to show you guys how I create my 5-inch balloon fillers. I usually just take 4 5-inch balloons and inflate them to a 1.4 that I set on my legenda right here. You can also use a hand pump to inflate these 5-inch balloons, or if your larger balloon inflator have like tiny nozzles for the 5-inch balloons, you can definitely go ahead and inflate them up to like 2.5 to 3 inches. That's the size that I always go with for my fillers, but the legenda just makes it way easier for me. So the same exact way you create your larger clusters for the garland is the same way we're going to create the 5-inch fillers with the 5-inch balloons. Just take 2 pairs and wrap them around 3 to 4 times. And that is how you create your 5-inch fillers, and we're going to be installing this after we create our beautiful balloon garland. We're going to be using the 260s since we want to stick to all Temu items, but you can also use rubber bands, and I have other tutorials showing you guys how to add balloon fillers, your 5-inch balloon fillers using rubber bands and like other methods. But for today's video, I'm going to be using the 260 balloons, but I will show you guys later on how I'm going to add these using the 260 balloons. So I'm gonna go off camera, inflate the rest of the balloons that I have right here, and then come back and show you guys how to make the balloon garland. Alright you guys, so I have 15 clusters here from the one kit. I only inflated the balloons from the one kit because it looks like it's enough right now. It's going to be a small garland because this is supposed to be like beginner friendly, and I cannot do too much because it's supposed to be beginner friendly. So I think I'm just going to stick with the one kit right now. If I feel the need to add more balloons, then I will just inflate off camera from the other clip, but I will definitely let you guys know. And if you have been on my channel for a while, I always advocate for saving money. So I never buy like the quality 260 balloons when I'm using them for like my attachment points for my backdrops or whatever, and if I'm using them to like create my garland, I only use quality 260s for like my balloon mosaics. If I'm, you know, making stuff with the 260s for like an event or something, then that is when I use the quality balloons. But there are so many places that you can get the cheaper 260s to like use for your attachments and for your balloon garland. So I think getting your 260s from Temu will definitely save you guys a lot of money. Instead of buying a pack of 260s for like $16, you can literally get it for under $5, a pack of 100 that you can use for your attachment. That's just a nice little tip for you guys. So I have a 260 right here, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. So the 260s look like this. They're usually the balloons that are used for balloon animals. So this is the open end right there, and what I usually do is like hold the end that's closed and like push all of the air out to the opened end and just tie it. That way my 260 is like flat like this, and it has more stretch to it. So that is what I'm going to be doing throughout the whole garland. You guys might not see me do it because I did do some off camera, but this is a way I use to like stretch my 260 out more. So I'm going to take my first cluster of 4. I'm going to start with a cluster of 12. I'm going to start with a cluster of 12 of the 12-inch balloon. I'm going to tie my 260 around it. So I tied the 260 inside of this first cluster that is made with only 12 inches. You can start with whichever size you want. But for my second cluster, I'm going to be using this quad that has one of the 18-inch balloons in it. I'm going to come closer, and I'm going to take my second cluster and push it against my first cluster. This is my 260 balloon. I'm going to wrap it around one of the balloons in the second cluster, then come back into my first cluster, wrap it around one of the balloons, and then wrap it around one of the second balloons again in the second cluster, and just meet in the middle. You can do it once or twice depending on how secure you want your garland, but it's a super easy process, and you see how much room I still have in my 260 because I pushed out all of the air. So I'm going to show you guys again. So this is a cluster, I think, of 10. I want to use a bigger cluster. So I have another cluster right here. I'm going to put it in the middle, pull my 260, wrap it around one of my balloons in the second cluster, then around one of the balloons in the cluster that was already there, then come up, wrap it around the second cluster again, and just meet in the middle. So a super easy process, and you see my balloon garland is like still tight because I am pulling the 260 as much as I can. I still have some room left. I think I have enough to add like 2 more clusters to it. So this cluster has both 12 and 10-inch balloons. I'm going to push down on my garland, pull the 260, wrap it around one of the balloons up here, then down around one of the balloons in the garland, come back up, wrap it around one of the balloons in the second cluster, and just meet in the middle. And it looks like I don't have enough to add another cluster, but it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another 260 to this one. So I have this much left of the first 260. So I have this that I push all of the air out already. I'm just going to tie it onto this 260. I'm going to show you guys how it looks after I tie it. So I'm putting like 2 knots in it, just to make sure that it won't like come apart. All right. So this is how it looks after I added the other 260. So now I could just continue to create my garland. I'm going to take another one of these big garlands with the 18 inches. push down in the middle, wrap it around the cluster, one around the garland, still pulling on my 260, back around one of the balloons in the cluster and just meet in the middle up here. Yeah, I think I'm losing this balloon. You see it's going down. It happens. It's balloons. It happens sometimes. All right. I'm gonna add another 260. You guys, whenever you create balloon garlands using 260s, you do end up using a lot of 260s. That is why I don't do it a lot, because I do use like a lot of 260. And it takes a longer time. Usually I would just tie the clusters by the neck. I move faster that way, and my balloon garlands are tighter that way. But this is a way to help like beginners or for the people who can't really tie the clusters, because it's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever one of my balloons in the garland that I'm creating is deflating, like this one, I can either cut it out or I could just leave it. I can always hide it in my garland, like no one is going to see it. But to ensure that my balloon garland don't come apart, I usually just leave it in there and just find a way to like tuck it into the garland so it's not seen. But if I cut it out, then I'll have to secure the balloon that it was tied to something else, which is more work. So it's better to just leave it and just tuck it somewhere later on after I install the garland on the backdrop. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that one that is deflating. And this is the length that I have right now. I do think that it's long enough for the backdrop because the backdrop is not that big. I have all of this 260 left. You can either like wrap it around your balloons until you don't have any left. And if it's like a lot of room on the 260 left, you can just tie it onto one of the neck of the balloon and cut off the excess. So I think I ended up using around 6 or 7 260s to create this this balloon garland. So this is how the hooks look. These are the clear hooks. And I do have some already on my backdrop, but in the back, but it's not enough. So I'm going to add the rest of these. It comes with a film on the back. So all you have to do is just remove it. It's a clear film. And now you have the sticky part. So I'm going to be adding it. I'm going to be adding it to the on the backdrop, like around in the back. I probably add one like at the front, but at the bottom down there. So I'm going to be attaching it like this to my backdrop and have it hang like that. And then I'm going to attach a 260 on this hook. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how it looks after I install it. Whenever I'm adding balloon garlands on arch backdrops, I always want to add a hook at the front, especially if I'm making the bottom wider, because I add the hooks at the back and it tends to want to pull my balloon garland towards the back. So if I have an attachment at the front, it'll help like keep it like in place. But if I have all of my hooks in the back, and sometimes I do use some like clips on the side, which helps to keep my balloon garland in place. But if I'm only using the hooks in the back, it just wants to pull my balloon garland in the back. So add in 1 or 2 hooks to the front where it's easy to hide. It just helps to keep the balloon garland to the side, or in place, like especially if I want the bottom to be wider. So I'm going to be adding this hook to the bottom of the wall. So I have a 260 right here, and I'm going to be tying it onto this hook and creating a hoop. And this is exactly how I did it for the back ones. Like you can add the 260 before or after you attach the hook to your backdrops, like whichever one is easier for you. I do both. So I tied onto the hook first, and now I'm just going to be creating a hoop. My hands look dry and ashy, but it's not. It's just from the balloons. It's the powder from the balloons. All right, so this is how the hoop looks. And whenever I attach this to my backdrop, this is how it will be hanging. And I'm going to be putting this hoop around a balloon that's on my garland. So this is how the hooks look in the back. So I have one up there. I have a couple up there, but I'm only going to be using this one. I have one right here, one down here, and I have one right there. And this is how this one looks at the front. So I'm going to go ahead and add like the 260s to these hooks and leave a hoop, and then that is how I'm going to be attaching the balloon garland to the backdrop. And this is about 6 feet right now before I go ahead and add the other clusters. So I'm going to use the hoops that I have in the back right now and just put it around like each of my balloons, and I want to start at the bottom down here. Make sure that your larger balloons are always showing. So there's one in the back right here. All I'm going to do is just twist it to make sure that it's showing. So I'm going to pull it to the side like that, just to make sure that is showing. Usually when I'm adding clusters, I would just go in and tie them in by the neck, but I have 260, so I'm going to use them. So I'm going to tie the 260 around my clusters. And create a little hoop, the same exact way I did for the hooks. So I have my hoop like that, and that is what I'm going to be putting around the balloons. Alright guys, so I have my 5-inch fillers right here, and I'm going to be using 260 balloons to install those. So super easy method. Just tie one end around the first quad. You can just make 1 or 2 knots, whichever you're comfortable with, and then I'm going to add this quad to the other end of the 260 balloon. And now I'm left with this, and I have all this room. I can stretch my fillers as far as I want to. So what I like to do with my fillers is like use the fillers to like cover those spots. Like wherever I'm seeing like the hooks, or wherever I'm seeing the 260 or the necks of the balloons, I like to use my 260 to cover them. Like, so I'm just gonna wrap it around my balloon. So I can put that right there, and then I can stretch this one over here. Put it right there. Alright, you guys, so that is all for today's video. If you guys love this tutorial, if you guys learned something, please let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys would like to see how the full thing turned out, like up close, stay tuned to the end of this video. I'll be posting a video montage and like pictures so you guys can see the full look. Thank you again to Temu for sponsoring today's video. If you guys would like to get a $100 coupon, go ahead and use the code right here on the screen so you guys could save some money. Make sure that you download the Temu app on your Android or iOS devices. As I said earlier, they sell everything that you need. So far so good with the balloon garland kit that I also got off of Temu. None of the balloons pop. This is a kit with 100 balloons and it looks good. I think it's beginner friendly. If you guys know anything about my channel, it's not only for like business owners, it's also for like DIY moms, it's for hobbyists. So I think creating garlands using balloon garland kits that I find online is like perfect so everyone could like learn something on this channel. I really hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I really hope that it was beginner friendly and it wasn't too hard to follow my steps. Thank you guys again for tuning into today's video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and as I said earlier, I want to know your feedback down in the comment section below. But anyways, thank you guys again, and I'll definitely catch y'all in my next video. Bye! What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Melanie. Loverly. Okay, I gotta do that over. I'm messing up. These mattress. You guys, there's always something in my eyes. Always. Like, I just don't understand. I don't get it. There's always something in my eyes. Anyways. Oh Lord, this body butter. Oh my God.